September 1, 1939. The world stands on the brink of catastrophe as Nazi Germany launches its invasion of Poland, igniting World War II. In Gdansk Bay, then known as Danzig Bay, the Polish Navy faces a relentless assault from the German Luftwaffe in the first naval-air battle of the conflict. Welcome to ShortFactWizard, where we uncover the pivotal moments that shaped history. Today we explore the Battle of Danzig Bay, a desperate stand that marked the dawn of a global war. The stage for this battle was set by years of tension. The free city of Danzig, a predominantly German-speaking port under League of Nations supervision, was a flashpoint. After World War I, the Treaty of Versailles granted Poland access to the Baltic Sea through the Polish corridor, but Danzig's status remained contentious. Adolf Hitler, seeking to reclaim the city and expand German territory, orchestrated a series of provocations, including the Gleiwitz incident, to justify the invasion of Poland. On the morning of September 1, 1939, at 4:45 a.m., the German pre-dreadnought battleship Schleswig-Holstein opened fire on the Polish military depot at Westerplatte, marking the first shots of World War II. Just hours later, the Battle of Danzig Bay unfolded, pitting the Polish Navy against the might of the German Luftwaffe. The Polish Navy of the Second Polish Republic was small, but determined. Originally designed to support communications with France in a potential war with the Soviet Union, its role shifted as Germany emerged as the aggressor. Anticipating a blockade of the Baltic Sea, Poland executed Operation Peking on August 31st, evacuating 3 of its 4 modern destroyers, Berza, Błyskawica, and Grom, to Great Britain to preserve them for the Allied cause. This left a modest force behind: 1 destroyer, 1 large mine layer, 5 submarines, and smaller vessels. The remaining Polish ships were tasked with 2 critical operations. The submarines were deployed under the WWII plan to patrol the southern Baltic and prevent German landings. Meanwhile, surface vessels were assigned to Operation Rurka, a plan to lay a naval mine barrier between Hel Peninsula and Danzig to block German ships from entering the bay. At dusk on September 1st, 10 Polish warships departed Gdynia for Hel Peninsula to execute this mission. The flotilla included the mine layer ORP Griff, carrying over 300 naval mines alongside minesweepers and gunboats. The destroyer ORP Witcher, commanded by Lieutenant Commander Stefan de Walden, had already departed to take up a shielding position and did not partake in the battle. As the ships traversed Danzig Bay, they were unaware that a German reconnaissance plane had spotted Griff that afternoon, triggering a swift and devastating response. At around 5 p.m., 33 German warplanes, primarily Junkers Ju-87B Stuka dive bombers, descended upon the Polish flotilla. These aircraft, part of the elite 1st Luftwaffe air fleet under Hauptmann Peter Kogel, were notorious for their precision and terrifying sirens, which had already wreaked havoc at Westerplatte earlier that day. The Stukas split into 2 groups, launching a coordinated assault on the Polish ships. The Polish sailors fought back with remarkable resilience. By zigzagging wildly, they evaded direct hits, while their concentrated anti-aircraft fire forced the German planes to bomb from a higher altitude, reducing their accuracy. The initial raid inflicted only minor losses on the Polish flotilla. The Polish sailors fought back with remarkable resilience. By zigzagging wildly, they evaded direct hits, while their concentrated anti-aircraft fire forced the German planes to bomb from a higher altitude, reducing their accuracy. The initial raid inflicted only minor losses on the Polish flotilla. ORP Griff, the backbone of the operation with its 300 mines, emerged unscathed, a testament to the sailors' defensive tactics. But the Germans were relentless. At 1800 hours, the Stukas returned for a second assault. Though there were no direct hits, near misses and machine gun fire took a heavy toll. ORP Mewa was disabled by a near miss, suffering 22 casualties, killed or wounded, and had to be towed by Rebitwa. The commanding officer of ORP Griff, Commander Stefan Kwiatkowski, was killed by machine gun fire, and 29 of his crew were wounded. The ship's rudder jammed, leaving it vulnerable. Lieutenant Commander Wiktor Lomidza assumed command of Griff. Fearing the ship's cargo of 300 mines posed a catastrophic risk if struck, he ordered them jettisoned into the bay. This decision, while saving the ship from potential disaster, doomed Operation Rurka, as the mines were essential to the plan. Despite the attacks, the Polish flotilla reached Hel Peninsula. However, with Griff damaged and its mines discarded, Operation Rurka was abandoned. Meanwhile, ORP Wicker, unaware of the cancellation, proceeded to its designated zone to cover the mine layers. That night, Lieutenant Commander de Walden spotted 2 German destroyers and later a ship he misidentified as a Leipzig-class light cruiser. Opting for caution to avoid compromising the operation, he chose not to engage. Upon returning to Hel, both Weicher and Griff were stripped of most equipment and repurposed as anti-aircraft platforms for the naval base. This marked the end of their active roles in the early days of the war, as the Polish Navy shifted to a defensive posture during the subsequent Battle of Hel, which lasted until October 2, 1939. The Battle of Danzig Bay was a microcosm of the broader invasion of Poland. On the same day, German forces launched a multi-pronged assault: Army Group North from Pomerania and East Prussia, Army Group South from Silesia and Slovakia, and the Luftwaffe bombing Polish cities like Wielin, killing civilians and leveling infrastructure. The Polish army, though brave, was overwhelmed by Germany's blitzkrieg tactics, supported by 1,300 aircraft and 2,000 tanks. The Schleswig-Holstein, a relic of the pre-dreadnought era launched in 1906, had arrived in Danzig on August 25 under the guise of a goodwill visit. Hidden below deck were 300 assault troops poised for action. Its bombardment of Westerplatte combined with the Luftwaffe's attacks set a brutal tone for the campaign. The Polish garrison at Westerplatte held out for 7 days, becoming a symbol of resistance despite overwhelming odds. Though the Battle of Danzig Bay resulted in a tactical defeat for the Polish Navy, it highlighted the vulnerability of naval forces to air power, a lesson that would resonate throughout World War II. The Polish Navy's valiant efforts, despite being outnumbered and outgunned, reflected the broader Polish spirit of resistance. The battle also underscored the Kriegsmarine's dominance in the Baltic, where geographical advantages like the narrow Danish Strait prevented Allied intervention. Poland's naval contribution didn't end in Danzig Bay. The destroyers evacuated during Operation Peking played a crucial role in Allied operations, including the Battle of the Atlantic. Polish pilots, many of whom escaped to Britain, became some of the RAF's most effective fighters during the Battle of Britain, with squadrons like No. 303 credited with downing 126 German aircraft in 1940. The Battle of Danzig Bay was a harbinger of the brutal conflict to come. It marked the beginning of a war that would claim millions of lives, including over 5.5 million Poles, nearly 1/6 of the country's population. Today, Gdansk Bay stands as a reminder of the sacrifices made in the face of overwhelming odds. Thank you for joining ShortFactWizard. Subscribe for more gripping historical stories, and let us know in the comments which World War II battle you'd like us to cover next.